Hey there, how's it going with you? After what felt like an eternity of vacation, One Piece is finally back on our screens, and that brings immense peace to our hearts. And in this video, I've brought you a recap of the last 5 episodes of the most amazing anime of all time. Our recap kicks off in Mary Geos at the Pangaea Castle, with Sabo beating the crap out of some cone-headed soldiers. The guys try to stab his eye, but they don't even come close. They immediately get a flaming punch to the face to ruin the funeral. That's when Bonnie bursts into the room where Sabo is, and the two of them set off together to rescue Kuma. Bonnie tells Sabo she's going back to Egghead to ask Vegapunk to restore her father's consciousness. Then more coneheads show up, and Sabo picks up Bonnie's kitty like a prince and shows he'd win Olympic gold in the high jump. After escaping, Sabo leaves Bonnie in the forest near the castle, and they go their separate ways. Meanwhile, wheelchair-bound King Cobra enters the room for a private meeting with the Gorosei. He sees the empty throne, and the Gorosei appear right in front of him, like, "Come on, spit it out already, old man." King Cobra starts giving a history lecture about the empty throne and how Queen Nefertari gave up becoming a celestial dragon to rule over Alabasta. The Gorosei are like, "Okay, so what? Get to the point." Then he drops the bomb that the records of Nefertari's reign were erased and are missing from the history of the Void Century, and he wants an explanation. What a bold old man, standing up to the Gorosei. Saturn is quick to respond, saying they don't know the answer because it's been centuries. After a long, awkward silence, Uncle Cobra asks one of the juiciest questions in One Piece. What does the name D mean? Just the question alone stuns the Gorosei. Cobra adds that 800 years ago, Queen Nefertari left a letter to be passed down through generations. But he doesn't finish the sentence, just to build suspense. Cut to Kuma, Terminator style, chaining up Princess Shirahoshi under orders from one of the celestial dragons. That weirdo Luffy punched in the face. While everyone's too scared to move, Shirahoshi's brothers show up to save her. But Kuma shoots a laser loogie at them. Boom. They try to fight back, but celestial dragon Don Quixote Josgard stops them and says to leave it to the pirates. Then Leo and Sai arrive, take charge, and spin like Beyblades for 15 minutes before smashing the celestial dragon into the ground like a squashed cupcake. Luffy would be proud of them. Kuma tries to go Super Saiyan on them, but Morley shows up and holds him from behind, pause. And Kuma wiggles like a cockroach trying to break free. Back at the empty throne, King Cobra is still waiting for his answer. And that's when Imusama herself appears and sits on the empty throne. Everyone's like, what the actual hell? But she doesn't care. She mentions Lily Nefertari by name, like they're old friends, and the episode ends. But hold up, there's way more. The next episode starts with King Cobra having an old man freak out when he sees Imusama on the throne. He says he knows her name, that it was among the original 20, and she cuts him off like, not answering that, sorry. I need a lawyer first, you know? But she does answer the D question. She says it's the name of those who opposed them in the past, and that the ones who bear it now are just hollow shells, clueless about its true meaning. A failure of Nefertari. Imu also questions whether the poneglyphs were scattered by accident or on purpose, saying the answer might be in Lily's 800-year-old letter. That's when things escalate. The Gorosei pull out their weapons and aim them at King Cobra. Not even Wi-Fi was getting through Uncle Snake at that point. Even trembling, he reveals that Queen Nefertari was AD. And as soon as he says that, Imu unleashes some demonic tail attack and impales the poor guy. She did not like hearing that name. But just like when someone calls for the Chapolin, Sabo shows up out of nowhere and sets the place ablaze to rescue King Cobra. Then all hell breaks loose. Imu transforms into a demon freak straight out of Jiraiya's nightmares, and the Gorosei turn into a bunch of chupacabras. Sabo puts up a wall of fire and escapes carrying Cobra, thinking that would slow them down. But nope, the monsters walk right through it. As Cobra lies dying, he tells Sabo to tell Luffy and Vivi that they also carry the name D. Meanwhile, the chase continues and Imu fires another evil arrow at them, hitting Sabo this time. Now it's 2 injured guys versus a squad of slime demons. That's when Cobra sacrifices himself so Sabo can escape and carry on Nefertari D. Lily's legacy. Behind the room's wall, Wapol is peeking through a hole and witnesses everything. He's shaking so hard his jaw rattles and alerts one of the Gorosei. He runs away like someone trying to find a bathroom in a panic. Meanwhile, in another corner of the world, Princess Vivi is tied up and being held prisoner by CP0. Elsewhere, Fujitora is fighting Ryukuju and helping the slaves escape. Ryukuju transforms into a giant Groot and goes after Fujitora, who stands his ground. But all of this is just CP0 updating Vivi on recent events. They're kinda cool for that, giving her the news. Then suddenly Wapol crashes through the wall, bulldozing everything in his path. Vivi uses the chaos to escape and literally hides inside Wapol's mouth to flee, almost giving the poor guy's wife a heart attack. She thought he was cheating. But nope, he was just scared out of his mind. That's where the episode ends. The next episode opens with Sabo already in the forest, badly wounded and shaken by everything that happened in the throne room. Then a soldier jumps out of the bushes to attack him. And we cut to the castle, where Pell and the others are looking for King Cobra and Princess Vivi. In the next scene, we see that Sabo escaped and even stole the soldier's armor. Nearby, Vivi is hiding with Wapol, and they manage to sneak aboard a ship. Wapple pulls a Den Den mushi from somewhere the sun doesn't shine and calls Morgan's, the anime's own Leo Diaz, offering political asylum in exchange for a juicy scoop. At the same time, Sabo and Bonnie are each on different ships, heading in opposite directions. Back at the castle, the Gorosei gather to talk about what happened, but they soon get a call from Imasama, who wants to test the Mother Flame on the kingdom of Leligia. She also says she wants Vivi, with that creepy stare of hers. After the break, the Navy informs Akainu about some uprisings in Aegis and Tajin. Akainu sends the Seraphim to handle it. We get to see the Seraphim versions of Doflamingo, Moria, and Crocodile. On one ship, the real Crocodile shows up. The Marines fire everything at him, but he wipes the floor with them. Back to present time, we learn that everything so far has been Sabo's report to Luffy's dad and Ivankov, and how it led to more recruits joining the Revolutionary Army. In this scene, he talks about what he saw happen to Leligia as he sailed away. Then Ivankov reminds Sabo that 800 years ago, there was a king named Emu, and there was a power that granted immortality. Only someone with that power could make the Gorosei kneel. And what if what Sabo saw in Leligia was a government weapon? What if it was Vegapunk's doing? What if it was an ancient weapon? Seriously, Ivankov is one sharp dude. Back in Mary Geos, remember when Luffy's crew smashed a celestial dragon? Well, the top dog came to settle things in person. The supreme commander of the Holy Knights, Saint Figureland Garling. The guy is so hardcore that he executed another celestial dragon, Don Quixote Josgard, in front of everyone, for betrayal. Another episode down. The next episode begins with young Garp training punches on a wrecked ship in a ship graveyard. Young Akiji is there with him. Their punches shake the place so hard it sounds like a subwoofer going off. The power was insane. They wore down the ships just from years of training. And they weren't even using haki or any special powers. That's how strong they were. Back on the island where Blackbeard's crew is hiding out, Kobe and Garp are facing off against the Toothless Tummy Gang. They're up against Wolf, who looks more like a mountain than anything else. Garp does a Superman leap, flies through the air, and punches Wolf in the forehead, launching the giant like it's nothing. Out of nowhere, Shot appears and hits Garp with a Katon-style blast. But Garp uses nearby pirates as shields and throws them like fireballs at the enemy. Time to retreat. We've got the upper hand. But wait. Kazan shows up and challenges his former mentor. They try to escape to the ship. Kobe sees a hostage in danger and tries to save her. But it's a trap. Shiryu, with his invisibility technique, tries to stab Kobe, but Garp steps in and takes the hit. Even injured, the old man is still a beast and counters the attack. Kazan seizes the chance and attacks Garp like Elsa during a panic attack. Garp accepts the challenge and charges in two. Then comes the flashback. Garp remembers Kazan becoming his apprentice and the moments they shared. A sweet scene before a visual effects showdown and a punch that sends everyone flying. But it's not over yet. Pizarro becomes the island and tries to crush the marine ship. The guy's so big he can reach the ship in open waters. The episode ends with Garp passing the torch to Kobe. The next episode starts with Kobe unsure how to stop the walking island from crushing his friends. But Garp hatches a plan and gives a motivational speech. Kobe, Gruss, and Helmeppo leap into action. Literally. And one of the coolest scenes happens as they jump toward the giant hand. Then Garp, still mortally wounded, unleashes an insane amount of power and lands a devastating blow on Kazan. Cue more high-quality VFX, my friend. The old man moves so fast he looks like the Flash. In the middle of the fight, he goes after Pizarro with a hockey-powered punch stronger than a Kamehameha, blasting a hole in the skull-faced Titan. The old man soloed two gigantic monsters in the same battle, and injured. Kobe picks up the cue and speeds up using moonwalk like a madman. He runs so fast he starts spinning midair like a roulette wheel. But I think that spinning powered him up, because he lands a Garp-style punch that obliterates Pizarro's giant hand with insane force. All that strength came from his secret training, copying Garp's method of punching abandoned ships. They managed to return to the ship. The guy even earned a cuddle from Hibari-san. Next scene, Garp tells everyone to leave the island without him, pretending he's totally fine, smiling all the while. But in truth, Kazan had impaled him with a giant ice spike, and Blackbeard's pirates had already surrounded him. The episode ends with Kazan freezing Garp. And that was the last episode of One Piece before the anime went on break. Don't forget to drop that awesome like. And if you're not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any new videos on the channel. See you in the next one. Bye!